Today, Mama P reads
The Mermaid Who Sang to the Stars by Ashlee Ridlon and illustrated by Tharushi Nanayakkara. Pearl the Mermaid lived with her family in Coral Cove. Besides mermaid school, she spent her days hanging out with her friends doing everything mermaids like to do, collecting seashells, racing dolphins, weaving kelp garlands, and helping lost sea creatures find their way home. But by night she spent her time singing to the stars. On full moon nights she would swim to Glimmer Rock, crest up out of the water, and sit and sing to the sky. She would sing out her wishes, making the soccer fin team, a family vacation to a sunken ship, and eating the biggest sea salt sundae. Her greatest dream, though, the one she sang about the most, was becoming a scientist. She loved science. She wanted to understand more about how her underwater world worked, just like Dr. Marina Tide, the greatest mermaid scientist in the ocean. But Pearl had a big problem. She was terrible at science. It wasn't that she didn't try. She tried to understand what her teacher taught her, focused during lab time, and attempted all the steps in the science experiments, but she just couldn't do it. So Pearl continued to sing to the stars that maybe one day it wouldn't be so hard, that somehow it would just get easier. Then one day at school, while swimming back to class with her friends, something caught Pearl's attention. It was a sign. Pearl swam over to get a closer look. It read, "School Science Club. Become a scientist. Explore the depths of our ocean and experiment with the wonder of nature. End-of-year trip to Kelp Forest and Crystal Cavern. Want to join? Take the test in 2 weeks." Pearl felt both excited and worried at the same time. Her heart beat with the hope of becoming a member of the science club, but her stomach fell thinking about the lab test. How would she pass? She considered wishing harder on the midnight sky, but that hadn't worked so far. She needed to do something different. She needed to take action. She decided she would start by talking to her parents. She told them all about the science club and how she was feeling. "We can help you," they said. "Let's set up a time to study." The next day at school, she gathered up the courage to ask her teacher for extra help, too. Her teacher was excited to see Pearl taking on this challenge and quickly agreed. Over the next 2 weeks, Pearl studied at home with her family. She read in her bedroom late into the night until her eyes couldn't stay open one more minute. She studied flashcards with her mama and played science games with her dad. She worked with her teacher most days after school, doing experiments in the lab until she had to go home for dinner. Pearl felt more hopeful each day. Even when she was tired, she didn't give up. Finally, the day of the test arrived. Pearl woke up early, ate a hearty breakfast of coral reef pancakes and seaweed scramble, and swam to school. Her teacher greeted her as she took her seat. She felt like a whole group of seahorses were swimming around in her stomach. After the lab directions, Pearl got to work. While measuring how a kelp forest affects the ocean's currents, Pearl went to add salt, sodium chloride, but accidentally added vinegar, acetic acid. Her teacher glanced over and Pearl froze. "Oh no, what am I going to do?" she thought. She took a deep breath and started over. "I can do this," she said to herself and got back to work. After the experiment, Pearl's teacher handed her a letter on her way out. "I want you to open this when you get home and know I am so proud of you," she said. "I don't know if I passed yet, and I made a mistake," Pearl answered. "Pearl, I am impressed with your hard work. I am proud of you, whether you pass or not, because you have tried your hardest. You tried your best." Pearl opened the letter when she got home. It read, "Pearl, your teacher told me about you and how you want to become a scientist. She also told me how hard you have been working over the last couple of weeks to become a member of the science club. You should be proud of yourself. Science didn't come easy to me either at your age. I struggled a lot in school too, but with a little determination and the help of my family and teachers, I improved each day. Stick it out. I believe in you. Your friend, Dr. Marina Tide." Pearl was still smiling the next day as she swam to school to find out if she made the science team. She told herself that even if she didn't, She was still proud of herself and her hard work. She held her breath as she waited her turn to see the list. When she was finally at the front of the crowd, she read down the paper until she saw her name, Pearl Perkins. She did it! She made the science team! Pearl spent the following months learning, making mistakes, meeting new friends, and working hard. The end-of-year science trip to the kelp forest and crystal caverns was everything she hoped it would be. Surrounded by nature, she used her new skills to explore the workings of the ocean. She was a scientist! Pearl still spent full moon nights singing her dreams to the stars, but as she sat on Glimmer Rock, she knew deep down that she didn't have to depend on wishes alone. With hard work, perseverance, and a little faith, she could make all her dreams come true. The end.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, follow, and subscribe to read more books with me.